Hi, good morning, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Sorensen. I have a question from Justin Danhof, proxy for Amy Ridenour, Laurel, Maryland, about immigration reform.
Morning.
Hi, good morning. I'm Justin Danhof. I'm representing the National Center for Public Policy Research. We're a free market think tank. I have a two-part question about immigration reform. My first relates to an amendment Senator Ted Cruz of Texas has proposed to the so-called Gang of Eight immigration reform bill. Senator Cruz's amendment does not prevent a general amnesty that allows persons here unlawfully to stay and work here legally, but it prohibits those who willfully did so from being eligible for citizenship. In other words, these persons could have green cards, they could stay in the United States, their minor children could become citizens, but they would not be eligible. This seems to be a middle ground position that assuages the main humanitarian concerns of those Americans who support amnesty while addressing the primary concerns of those who are wary of rewarding unlawful behavior. So the first part of my question is, what is your position on this compromise? Secondly, Marriott executives and other hotel executives have long said that the hospitality industry needs immigrant labor. This implies an insufficient supply of domestic labor, however. Nationally, unemployment is over 7% and has been for many years now. The unemployment rate for those 18 to 29 is nearly 12%. Approximately 50 million Americans are on food stamps, and millions have been added to the Social Security disability rolls in recent years, reportedly in many cases not because of genuine disability, but simply because their unemployment ran out. Yet companies like Marriott seek immigrant labor. My question is why? Are these Americans unqualified for these jobs or so undisciplined at work that you don't want them? Even if Congress does pass generous immigration reform, it seems we have a big problem here with the workers who already live here legally. Is something wrong with our workers? If so, what? Or is our social welfare system so generous in this country that the hospitality industry simply can't compete?
Thank you very much for your very thoughtful question. I won't get very deep into immigration reform with you because that could take hours and hours. It's obviously a very important issue, and there are many aspects to it which make it complicated and sometimes emotional. Our perspective starts really with a desire to have as much mobility for people as we possibly can. We're obviously in the travel business, and we are in the business of welcoming people wherever they go. And immigration obviously is a part of that, but so is visa policy and other things which go to travel. Beyond that, then it becomes a question of we have 9, 11, 13 million illegal immigrants in the United States today. By and large, they're precluded from working for companies like ours because it's illegal for us to hire them. They are still members of the economy. By and large, they're not going home. And so the fundamental issue, which we certainly support from a policy perspective, is to find a rational way and a balanced way to get them to a place where they can at least get a green card, get to work, pay taxes, and be as contributing members of the society as they can be. Around the labor piece, there are really two bits, and one is sort of at the high end of the economy, and one is maybe at the lower end of the economy. But we have foreigners graduating from U.S. educational institutions all the time, often with extraordinary talent that have been educated by our institutions in science and technology, engineering and math, particularly, and to find a way to allow those folks to stay in the country and contribute the expertise that they've learned from us is clearly in our interests. The immigration labor that the second part of your question goes to, I think for us would be around seasonal workers. So when you look at a market like Colorado, where we have a Ritz-Carlton in Bachelor's Gulch or in Vail, or you look at some beach destinations, both in the wintertime, the unemployment rates in those markets at those times is nearly zero. And those hotels depend on an international workforce to be there. Sometimes that might involve actually immigrants who come in and stay. Often it is folks who come in for the season and leave. They may want to ski to be part of it. Many of them, they may come from South America or they may come from other places. We just like to make sure that the government evolves the regulatory environment around those sorts of things so that we can know what the rules are, comply with the rules, and make sure we have enough labor to meet the needs at the time it happens. But we appreciate your question and your interest in the issue.